I'm starting by ink blending Pinkfresh Studio Lemon Whip ink through a floral stencil. The stencil set I'm using is Pinkfresh Studio's Chrysanthemum. It includes 6 stencils. I've labeled them yellow 1, yellow 2, red 1 and red 2, and green 1 and 2, after the colors on the packaging. In addition to the Chrysanthemum stencils, there's a die set, a stamp set, and washi. For this card, I'm using everything except the washi tape. I've cut my hammermill cardstock in half lengthwise, and I'm using both halves. Then I did the same with a letter-sized sheet of vellum. My idea for this card is to create a wreath out of a white cardstock and vellum. I've seen other designers do that, and I always love the result. I think vellum adds interest without adding bulk. For the next stencil, I'm moving on to marigold. We're in late summer now, so I was looking for a palette with warm colors, but still some freshness. I settled on palette 143 from volume 1 of the Color Cube. Palette 143 only had one yellow, so I added limoncello as the lighter tone. This video is part of my monthly YouTube hop, and the theme for August is stenciling. Rumor has it there's a giveaway too. Check the description for details. Next, I'm moving on to mimosa. It worked really well to cut my cardstock and vellum to 4 1/4 by 11 inches. You may notice that I'm taking care to push both the substrate and the stencil into the corner of my stencil mat. That ensures that all my stencils are aligned. That's super helpful when you're making multiples. When you're ink blending on vellum, you need to make sure the ink is dry before moving on to the next stencil. The ink has a tendency to sit on the surface and stay wet. I used a fan to dry my vellum. Next is candy apple for my dark red. My light green is grassy knoll. My dark green is olive. This is the final ink color. I'm trying to concentrate it toward the bottom and middle of each stem. And that's the final result. You get 7 different flower clusters from each stencil. I probably didn't need to make 2 of each, but I'd rather have leftover flowers than not enough. The next step is to die cut the flowers. One big die cuts them all at once. I have extended plates for my Anna Griffin Empress, but you don't need them for this die. You can just place the cardstock diagonally across the regular size plates. The platform is magnetic, but I'm not taking any chances, so I'm taping down my die. The process for cutting out the vellum is the same as for the cardstock. Aren't they pretty? I just love this product suite so much. I've chosen Wishing You All the Best for my sentiment. There's a coordinating die for it. I'm stamping it in Versamark on hammermill cardstock. Then I'm using Ranger Extra Fine Detail Gold embossing powder on it. This is what it looks like after heat embossing. The die is very tight, so I'm definitely using tape here. And that's the result. I'm creating a couple of extra layers out of accent opaque 120 pounds for dimension and stacking them. That's sturdier. For my background, I'm keeping it simple and just dry embossing some hammermill with a Spellbinders embossing folder. It's called Plaid Company. And this is the result, simple and elegant. I've cut down my background to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and now I'm gluing a piece of accent opaque to the back. The accent opaque is another 1/4 inch smaller, both length and width-wise, so it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. It will help the hammermill stay flat. When that's dry, I'm matting it on Recollections Gold foil cardstock. I want a really narrow mat, so I've cut the foil cardstock to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. All these numbers are on my blog post on valleyoakpaper.com. Then I glue the embossed background to the gold mat. Finally, I glue them both to my white top folding card base. I prefer to have a frame for my wreath, and this time I'm using an oval frame. It's from a Spellbinders die set called Stitched Wall Hanging. This is what the die set looks like. There's a hanger to make it look like an embroidery hoop, but I'm not using that today. It was the stitching die of the month for April this year. This is actually a great die set if you want to get into stitching. It's not too big and overwhelming. I'm stacking a couple of layers of accent opaque, and then I'm gluing some Recollections gold foil cardstock to the front. Off camera, I added foam tape to the back of the frame. Then I stuck it to some sticker paper backing so it wouldn't collect cat hair. Now I can assemble my card. I start by adhering the oval frame to the background. Then I place the vellum flowers around it. When I feel that I've covered the frame with vellum, I'm adding chamomile flowers on top, taking care to not place like on like. I want the vellum to stick out behind the cardstock. The vellum is almost like a bokeh layer behind the in-focus cardstock layer. Once I've filled up the wreath again, I glue down the sentiment in the center. It's almost straight. And this is how my card turned out. I cut off the excess so it would fit into an envelope and added some Pinkfresh Studio glitter drops in the color Sparkle and Shine to draw the eye to the sentiment. I'm on a vellum kick and this turned out even better than I hoped. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this card. Don't forget to check out the giveaway. The details are in the description. That's also where you find the playlist for the hop and the products I used in today's card. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.